If your items aren't selling and you've tried better photos, better titles, sending offers, and nothing seems to be working, I get that frustration. But the thing is, you've probably been told the wrong thing about what the real problem is for why you're not making sales. Well, hey, my name is LeeMeier, and I've made over $100,000 net profit flipping used clothes online. But in the beginning, I really struggled with getting items to move. I kept tweaking listings thinking that I just needed better photos, better titles. But that wasn't the problem. What was? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you the 3 real reasons why your items aren't selling and what to do about it. Coming up. Now, quick note before we dive into this first one. If you haven't updated your titles or keywords, you're gonna wanna do that. I've linked a free keywords list below that'll help you get found in search results. But once that's handled, these are the next things to consider. First up, this one is huge, and I hear this all the time. But it's a good brand. This brand always sells. It should be selling. And here's the truth. A good brand does not mean a good item. For example, you can take a brand like Patagonia. Yes, Patagonia sells. It's a good brand. But that does not mean that every Patagonia item sells fast or that every Patagonia item sells for good money. A basic t-shirt, that's not the same as a technical jacket. A plain long sleeve, that's not the same as a rarer specialty print. Brands get attention, items create demand. If you're sourcing based on brand alone, you're gambling. You have to ask, do people actually want this specific item right now? Not, is this a good brand? That's a completely different question. Next, you need a mix, and this is where a lot of resellers get stuck. Some people buy all safe items. Low price, low risk, low profit. And then they wonder why they're working so hard for small returns. Other people only chase big flips. High price, rare, hard to comp, hard to sell. And then they sit for months. What you actually need is a mix of faster moving everyday items, some solid, reliable bread and butter items, and a few higher profit educated guesses. If your entire inventory is slow moving, then your sales are gonna feel inconsistent. Not because you're bad at listing, but because nothing in your store is built to move quickly. Consistency does not come from luck, it comes from balance. Now, after helping hundreds of sellers, if I had to guess one thing wrong without even looking at your listing, it's this. You're pricing based on what you paid, what you hoped for, what someone else listed it for, and what you want to get, instead of what buyers are actually paying. And I've done this too plenty of times. Before I even officially started reselling, I was selling items out of my house. I had this little baby onesie from Washington State University, the school that I graduated from, the onesie that all of my babies had worn. And when I went to go list it, I priced it higher than the market, not because the data said so, but because I really didn't want to let it go. It had emotional value to me. But buyers don't pay for memories. And the same thing happens when you paid up for an item. It took you an hour to get it listed. You researched it forever, or you know that it should be worth more. We start pricing based on what we want, what we invested, what we hope. There's also a huge difference between an active listing price and a sold price. Even inside of sold listings, there's a difference between the highest comp and the consistent comp. And a lot of resellers anchor to that highest comp. But buyers don't care what you paid or what you think you should get for the item. They care what they can get it for today. Sometimes your slow sales aren't a listing problem, they're a letting go problem. And as much as it might make you cringe inside, the fastest way to fix slow sales isn't tweaking your listing, it's adjusting the price, even slightly. And it makes me think of Alexis, who was paralyzed with analysis paralysis. After we simplified things with a clear and easy plan, she was able to stop overthinking. She sent me this screenshot in her first week of over $500 in sales. That's what can happen when you have a clear and repeatable system. If you're tired of tweaking listings and hoping something changes, the fix is probably not in your drafts folder. It's in the decisions you're making before you ever even list an item. Most resellers stay stuck adjusting tactics, tweaking their listings. But consistent sales don't come from tweaking. They come from a clear, complete system. That's the difference. In the next video, I'll show you exactly how to evaluate items before you list them so you can stop guessing and start seeing steady sales. And if you're ready for help at a deeper level, the Empowered Reseller is linked below. See you there.